This ought to be interesting. I did not bring any water or anything to drink down here with me. That's all right. I'm only going to go for less than an hour, probably 45 minutes. We'll see what I can get done. I've got some, got a lot of guys out here. I've been trying to get these orcs of mine or orcs completed. So these guys have a purple underhue with a brown top coat. Actually, I don't mind it now that I see them dried out. It's actually not a bad. It's actually probably better than the purple overcoat, purple with black overcoat. These guys are just dark skinned all in general. These guys are kind of brownish, purplish, because that's what their theme was. I'm tempted. Like this guy, I don't mind his color, but his head is a bit see, his head's way browner than the rest of the guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him a little bit of this, give him some of his purple color back by putting this on kind of as a wash. Just kind of wanted the purple undercoat of this one. He just got a really brown top coat. And I just didn't want to be quite so brown, especially since the rest of his skin doesn't really go with that. Tell you that the skin wash I used is really potent. It's just the ink from a Vallejo. Vallejo's, I don't know, skin wash. That's what it is. And it's pretty dang. Do I have two of the same color here? What the heck? I feel like I do. Yeah, that's better. Just wanted to give him a little bit of that purple hue back. All right, so let's get some other color on him. I've been trying to work on his. We got to do his furs. So of course, furs are probably going to go. I can either go brown or gray. I can go with anything I want, I suppose. Orc Squad. I'm going to change this to Orc Squad 1. And then slightly different. I have, we're going to add a new one to this thing. We're going to go here and say, oops, Orc Squad. Boy, I cannot spell too. Okay. And then these guys, can I move them? Can I drag and drop? Yeah, I can. All right, so Orc Squad 2. We're going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to start the timer on this one. Oops, dang it. Connect, click, go away. All right, and I'm going to put in my palettes, a little bit of my palette paints. I'm going to scan my scan barcodes. Sure, why not? All right, so this one was skin, and I also had my corporeal shadow, which is the base I used for that. And of course we have a little bit of well, I did use white for my white ink. I used that for my over, and I did, does this guy count? Yeah, I used this guy as my primer. And that's pretty much all I've got on him. Oh no, I did use this for my chain. Emerald green mauve. Is that the one I used? I don't know if is that the one I used? Yeah, I think maybe, I guess it must be. Oh wait, I think this might have been, was that the one I used? Green, silver, blue. I think that's the one I used. And I used green, silver, blue, and a little bit of brown, or not brown, but where's the, here we go. That one will be fun. It doesn't want to read. Oh, there it goes. Natural steel. Okay. So I have at least the color palette of what I've got so far on these guys. That's just this squad. They're pretty much the same. I'm not making them a lot of difference. That skin tone's basically the significant change between the two. But I am going... This guy's got a big old plate on him. Do I want to go with just silver? I think I'm going to do a silver, and then I'm going to put like a rust on him. I want it to look like a... I am... See, I would like to do NMM, but I'm just not good at NMM, so I don't have the patience to try it. I'm just going to go with metallic, and then I'm going to throw some rusty crap on it. And I say rusty crap only because, I don't know, is it better to just do like a yellowish dust rust? Or is it better to just actually just use a rust color? They're both going to have kind of rusty armor. All the guys who have big plates on them, I'm going to give them kind of, they're going to have the plate, but then I'm going to cover it up with some rusty, not everywhere, but just kind of like in the places that need it. I am going straight up paint too, so I'm not even, I really probably putting it on a little thick, so I gotta be careful about that. Don't want things to carry over too much. This guy's got a lot of plate on him. And I don't know, I was thinking, should I do a wash? I probably should do a wash rust, and then, but don't put it everywhere. You know, just let it kind of heavy duty, like in certain spots. How does rust work? Rust is going to be in the cracks and crevices the most, probably. The spots that are like, it's going to have a lot of rust around, like in the cracks. That's where it sits, right? Rust wouldn't be in the obvious places. Probably be good if I did it with scratches. How do you do scratches? Is there a good way to do scratches? Probably. I guess you just use a real fine brush and maybe just paint like scratches on it. Yeah, tomorrow I get the joy of learning React again, probably for at least a couple of hours, assuming there's enough time in the day. I've always got stuff going on, it seems like, on Sundays, because Sundays is kind of my chores day, get things done around the house day. But being out of work, you know, I don't have a lot of time to be... I hopefully will be able to do some streaming tomorrow. I might even do some video editing. I got to get better at the video editing. Not just better in quality, but better in doing. Because it really is. it's an interesting process, but it's also time consuming. This guy's got a lot of plate on him. Might be playing again this week, but D&D. I don't know though that these guys are going to see anytime, not anytime soon. I don't think these guys are around in the area that the party is currently at. We're in Avernus, so I don't think they're going to encounter any orcs down there. I mean, it's not entirely impossible, but probably I would think not. So do I highlight with the things I want to highlight with, like a white or a silver first? Or do I put the rust on and then highlight? I think rust would kill a lot of highlight, so I would think it'd be better to put it on after. That's what I feel like anyway. This guy's got like, I have nowhere near enough silver, natural steel. I'm going to try, maybe on some of these weapons, to do some NMM. It's the perfect swords for it, I think. I think it would make sense for me to attempt my NMM, but I'm not going to do it on the armor because I don't trust myself with the armor. It's probably better because these are one-piece armors. They'd be perfect for it. But I just don't know that I can. I don't know. I just realized this guy's got skin showing. He's got some skin in the game that I haven't colored. Now, I am painting these guys pretty quick, so I'm probably not quite as precision as I am on other times. I don't know. Because they're orcs, so I'm not like, I don't have to be perfect, right? Why has that guy got gold right there? What the heck? Oh, did it leak on there? Oh, I gotta fix that. He's got quite a bit of. This guy's got a lot of metal on him. His shoes are steel tipped. So when you have steel tipped shoes, I mean these guys like steel tipped, steel front shoes. They're not even steel tipped. It's like the front of these shoes are just made of metal, of steel too, like the rest of his armor. It's kind of like a knight. But how does that weight your foot down a lot? I mean, you gotta imagine that's kind of heavy, isn't it? You gotta be pretty strong just to wear some of the stuff that knights would wear, huh? It's gotta be exhausting. I mean, you're fighting with that stuff on. Yeah, it's protecting you, but you're also more susceptible, right? Because you can't move. You have to probably train for years just to learn to be good at fighting with all that gear on. At least I would think so. Yeah, so I was watching Ninjon paint the other day, and he was just doing like a speed paint. He says, "I'm gonna see if I can speed paint these guys," and he was cruising through and just throwing on washes and getting these things painted up. And when he was done, I was looking at it, and I don't even know how I missed it, but he had painted NMM. He did it speedy. He was just chapping on paint. Looked to me like he was just putting some highlights on, and I just looked like he was adding highlights to the color he was working on. And then it occurred to me that he was actually doing NMM, and when he was done, it looked just like armor, like steel armor. I was like, dude, you make me sick. It was like, he just da 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 da. Bam! Hey, wait a minute, that's armor. You did NMM in 2 seconds. That's not right, man. It's just not right. How do you do that? How does anybody do that? It's impressive stuff, man. But alas, it is what it is. It's a gift. It's a gift some people have, and others, well, have to work on it. I don't know. He probably had to work on it too. And I guess if I did it and got good at it, like anything else, you spend time, you practice, you get the gist. I think what it is I just don't understand it. I don't understand. I understand that it has to be like where the light's coming from and where it's at, and then it's like, but when I try to replicate it, it just looks like I put white paint or light paint in spots. It just doesn't look like NMM to me. It just looks weird. It looks like black with white on it. It's like I thought I was doing it where the light should be, but somehow all I got was black with white on it, not metal. Nobody looks at it and goes, "Oh, metal." It's like, "Oh yeah, that's why didn't you just paint it with a metallic color?" That's supposed to look metallic. Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, shut up, you don't see it now. Yeah, no, I don't see it. Don't humor me, man. I know you can't see it. I didn't see it either. So yeah, I'm going with the metallic. Now, it's there are some paints. I will grant you this that look shiny, that aren't metallic, and those are cool. There's a couple of them. I think some of the metallic colors. There's I think actually I think Army Painter here has one. See, this is Reaper's silver or natural steel. It is very much metallic. I mean, you can see the metallic, but having I don't know what they call them, natural metallics or metallics that just look shiny, and that's what you want. You want something that not like glossy, they just look like they reflect light. It's like it'd be like if it was a WoW blended drink versus one that has powder in it. It probably tastes the same, or you could still see the powder, but if you mix it and stir it really good, and it's a well dissolved thing, you're going to only taste you're only going to taste the drink. There won't be any powdery, grainy taste in it because it didn't dissolve right. But if it probably tastes the same, the powdery one, because like say you have Gatorade and you don't stir it up very well. You have a powdered Gatorade and you don't stir it up very well. And what's going to happen is it's going to taste pretty much just like the Gatorade if you stirred it up well. But if you stir it up well, you won't see the little particles inside, or it won't be sitting on the bottom of the pitcher, that kind of thing. And that comes from, good. And that's how I visualize metallics. Metallics are like what it would be like if the shine was distributed evenly throughout the entire area of paint. That's what a good metallic look is. That's why NMM looks so good, because it actually just looks shiny. It's fake. It's not really shiny. But because of the way it's laid out and the way you do the highlights, you're making it look like it's simply shiny metal. It's not trying to pull a fast one on you. It's just simply shiny metal. And a good metallic look, a good metal will always look just shiny. It won't look metallic. Now, metallics work. I mean, they're nice. They have a nice shininess to them, but you can see the particles in them, and it's always just something's a little less ideal. Like chrome, you've seen chrome. Chrome is just like a smooth, it's shiny metal. It's not metallic. You don't look at chrome and see all the little sparkly bits in it. You just can't see them. And that's just that's how a true metal should be, or NMM. Got a piece of skin there that wasn't even colored. Not even a little bit. Can I blend this? Keep just taking a little bit more of my purple, trying to balance out this purple and brown, trying to hit those spots that are supposed to have purple in them and don't. Trying to hit all the corners, man. I haven't done the weapons yet because I'm planning to try NMM. So that means I'll probably have to paint them black, and then I'll have to start figuring out how to hit the colors on there, and we'll see. And if I can do it, it should go pretty quick because I would think they're pretty simple weapons to do in the NMM world. Pretty straight. I might not know what I'm talking about, but they seem like they're less work than rounded. My first time I tried to do MMM, I did it with red, which is apparently one of the harder NMMs to attempt. And I also did it on a rounded armor that he wore all the way around his body, which meant I had to figure out how do you highlight in all directions? How do you make NMM work in all directions? I could not figure it out. I was like, because you can't, because it's not true, right? Because it's faked reflection, which means you'll only get to pick one direction to make it work. It's like the direction your eyes would be hitting it from. So if you look at it head on, it should look I'm not sure how this works. Is that like supposed to be a metal plate there that goes down to his foot? I don't know how these shoes work. I don't know what the bits are. Sometimes it's not obvious, you know. Trying to, make sure I have, or rather don't have, flesh colors on his armor bits. And since I did it as a wash, those things kind of got on it by way of bleed over. It's real easy. Then this stuff, I will say this about that, separates really weird. The, what do you call it? Color changing colors. They tend to separate really weird on the palette. I don't know. It's like they turn white basically on your wet palette. They just don't get wet well. And I'm just trying to, right now I'm just trying to lighten up my edges that I had to repaint. All right, I got to do this. There's a thing about this shield that's bugging the heck out of me. It's flesh, or it's stuff that's there that shouldn't be there. This is where I just get, Okay, so look. See the shield? His arm stops here. The shield stops here. But there's this big chunk of plastic between here and here. Why? Why is that there? I got to cut it off. Such is the way for me, sorry. It doesn't make sense, and I'm just being bothered by it. Now, I will say this, it's a little trickier. It's a big chunk of plastic, too. It's not even a quick and easy thing, or a small little cut it out. But it just shouldn't be there, man. So my wife and I just got done watching Band of Brothers. Yeah, Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. We actually had already watched Masters of Air. They have like three of them. There's one called what, The Pacific, and so we probably watch that one next because they were both good. We liked them. It's crazy. It's kind of sad. I mean, that's what it was. War's sad. It's like, duh. It's like don't act too surprised. Yeah, it's sad. Such is the way of war, I guess. But it was a good show though, and it's cool to see. I mean, obviously the main characters in the show don't necessarily die, right? Because you can't. I mean, you got to have somebody to center the story around. But there was a lot of characters that were pretty, you would think, pretty integral. Masters of Air kind of had, like the main characters got themselves. It's just amazing that you always think that getting caught behind enemy lines is the end of it. It's like, yeah, those guys are dead. Probably in a lot of cases they were. I mean, Germans weren't noticed. It's crazy how the Germans were, as bad as they were to everyone else. These shows always portrayed were being kind of civil, at least to the military guys. And I'm like, but yeah, they were so rotten to to civilians, to their genocidal ways, in their genocidal ways. For civilians, I mean, these are just people that just they weren't even part of the war, but yet they weren't killing anybody. Yeah, here they were killing people for whatever psycho reasons they were. It's like you don't even. It's like in these shows, these military guys didn't even they didn't even know how bad they were until they at the very end when they started finding these camps, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not just rumors and it's real. These guys are psychopaths. Now, I don't know, probably not. And like I said, I agree, just like they said on the show, that not every German soldier was a psychopath. Some of them were just soldiers out fighting and doing what they were told, and they weren't all part of the. My thought is, if you're part of those camps, I mean, again, even then, I don't know. I mean, you can't just not do stuff, and I don't know. I mean, you can, but there's probably consequences, and not everybody can stand up to consequences, right? I mean, people just aren't all able and or willing to stand up for things that they believe in. I can't believe they all believed what they were doing was right, but I just don't think all of them had the, I don't know, was it the cojones? The willingness to give up their life. Because, in the military, as is the case with both American and any other, you don't do what you're told, there is penalties. You're going to be in trouble, right? I mean, you can't just, an officer tells you to do something, even if you don't necessarily believe it's right, short of mutiny, and then hopefully finding out later that proving what you did was right, which is of course very hard to do. Short of being able to do that, you're going to be in trouble for not doing what you're told, right? Because, well, not doing what you're told in the military is a big fat hairy no-no in every military, including the U.S. And if you don't think so, you're in for a shock. You can't just not do what you're told. And so I'm sure that some of those soldiers, the Americans did stuff that wasn't so great either, but it was mostly to other soldiers, right? I mean, so people don't knock them for it. But, there weren't U.S. soldiers weren't perfect either. But and it's not like every U.S. soldier wasn't perfect. I mean, I don't know that any of them. Nobody's perfect, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that ultimately, as a group, they weren't perfect, right? They did stuff they probably shouldn't have done. They even the U.S. didn't do anything crazy or there's we know of as far as there's nothing genocidal about what they did, but beyond just mistreating soldiers, there were stories of what things they did to German civilians, and it's on a case by case basis, right? It's not everybody doing everything, so it's a minority, and a lot of times it's just people thinking that they're doing something in revenge, but it's like even on the show, it's like a lot of them assumed every German was a Nazi. It's not really how it works. It's like now you wouldn't call Germans Nazis now. Some might, but that's not what they. And there may even be some that are still Nazis. There's some people in America that are, would be considered Nazis. Some. There's clans and groups and people who just have that psycho train of thought. But okay, so see, I kind of fixed the arm. Now his big heavy arm is just his arm stopping about there. Now this big gap here is actually a gap where it should be. It's not perfect, but it's way better than it was. And thus, it doesn't have to drive me bonkers anymore. So, game night tonight included Quarriors. That's all I played. Other people were playing other stuff. They played, I think, was it somebody played? Oh, they played Power Grid, and what was the other game that was played? Um, Starts with I want to say a P. My brain is uh, not clicking on that one right now. I didn't play it, but it was a popular game too. We play it a lot. It's an older game, way older game. Way older game. All right. I gotta try and get this purple down. Or not purple, shadow, whatever the heck. I don't even know why I have two of these on here. The big trick is this is what they call it, corporeal shadow, and I'm putting a lot of it in these cracks so that I can get his arm covered up. Then once it dries some, I will put the brown overcoat. Trying to decide if I just want to make this shield same silver I made everything else. Why not? All the armor plate should be the same thing, right? Going with lazy NMM. I'll put some highlights on it, and I don't know. I do tend to not like as much as I used to. It looks okay, but I just wish there was paints that could do metal that looked like didn't have to be metallic. You know, they were just shiny metal, but actually did a real shiny. You know, I mean, it wasn't just. Could you just like gloss up a color really super high gloss, and would it be metallic looking? I don't think it works that way. Something about the way light hits metal, I think, is what it is. So, I don't know. Because it's super smooth. I don't know. There's something about the way metal is that makes it more than just a glossy color. It's like the shine is more pure. Can't explain it. It's metallic. Like you can see metallic any color, right? Metallic blue, metallic anything can be metallic, and you see it, but it's all the sparkly bits. Making stuff look metallic without the sparkly bits is like, it's definitely an art skill all its own. And anybody who can do it effectively, which I have not been able to do myself yet, is impressive. And I'm not saying it's all that hard. I think if people try it and learn it, I think anybody can do NMM probably. I think part of what it is it's intimidating because it's a time thing, and I couldn't get it right my first time at all. I just didn't get it, and I was like, I don't know. Is it worth the effort? I mean, the more I do, and the more I paint, the less I like metallic metals. Because I feel like it's not metal. I mean, yeah, it has a metal look, but all that sparkly bits, it's like having little shiny pieces of dirt in your paint. It does. If you can get like the light off of it, it has a little bit more natural, but it just looks like sparkly dirt. And you're just like, I wish I could make that look like natural steel. And I am just not there, man. All right, so this guy can go send over here for now. Who's got another plate? I think I have another guy with a plate on here somewhere. That's 4 of them. I only have 4 in front of me. That's 5, 6. Oh, here he is. There's the other one with the big plate. What time is it? 10:19. All right, I've only got a little bit of time left for today's outing. In this episode of Trying to Get Some Painting Done, we take on orcs with metal plate and real metallic metals, wishing we had, of course, covered it in NMM, because NMM is cool. And I don't know, like I said, metallic, they look fine, don't get me wrong. I mean, but they just have it's not a real, it's like it's a fake metal. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Somebody who does NMM would understand what I'm saying. It just, you would know. And if you looked at like a blue car, you see metallic. Okay? A metallic blue car. But if you see look at it this way. If you just saw a blue car that wasn't metallic, you would still be pretty sure you could tell that it's metal. Or at least fiberglass, which is plastic, but it's got a metallic. It's got metallic-like properties to it. That's making it look metal, but you can still tell. There's just something about metallics or metal colors that are metal that just look like metal. It's the way they shine. It's the smoothness of the paint. Something. And if you're going for a metal color that's not metallic, non-particle metallic, then you have to figure out how to do NMM. It's the only way you can do it, because you're painting plastic. It's not going to carry the natural properties of metallic, of actual metal. So you're trying to what you're doing is you're trying to make plastic look like metal. Metallic is just covering plastic with metal flakes. I know, semantics you think, but it's really not. It's the way that works. Now I'm going to try to make all of his metallics stuff look rusty. I'll probably put a coat of... Now this guy doesn't have quite as much metal as the last guy. The last guy was decked out in it. I gotta try to get some other types of streams going. I don't know. I'm wondering about live streaming. I just don't know if live streaming is a very viable way to... I think you have to do recorded stuff to grow a channel. I think, for one, I only do live streaming to chit chat with people. That's the original reason. And then I thought, you know what? I'd like to do more with this. But you really just don't grow channels that often by simply streaming. You have to, unless you're like a amazing gamer. And people say scheduling, just schedule and play every day at the same time. I don't think it works that way. I don't know. I've tried it for short periods. It wasn't like I suddenly go, oh, hey, good that you're a regular, and you suddenly start getting regular followers. That's not how it works. Don't get me wrong. You can try for it, but really, the people who are going to do it, are amazingly, you're amazingly entertaining. Woohoo! You know, you're just entertaining, making everybody laugh, and you're just like funny as all heck, or you're just an amazing player. You're playing a popular game, and you just kick butt, and everybody just wants to learn from you, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're my idol. You know how to whoop. Just like painting. I mean, if you're a great painter, and you're just whipping out amazing artwork, people just can't help but follow you because they just want to watch and see all the cool stuff you come up with. But if you're average Joe guy, average Joe painter, not necessarily great, not terrible. I don't think I'm terrible. But yeah, you're not gonna build a stream. Sorry, man. If you're me, it's just not gonna happen. And I stream a lot. I think I stream a lot for average Joe guy. I think I'm a above average quantity streamer for average Joe guy. But then again, I'm also not full-time. I can't afford to be full-time. And I'm not sure if right now, like I could stream more often right now because I'm currently out of a job. But I don't know. I don't know if that would benefit me any. I'm not sure that it would. I don't know. I just don't think live streaming for an average person is a good way to go. In which case, if you want to do content, you have to actually create content, which means you got to get better at content creation, which means you have to do videos. Pre-recorded stuff, you know. Put the time in, and that's the thing. And then I start videos and don't finish them because I'm like, you know what, this video is really kind of bad. It's like, well, it doesn't even seem that interesting for the amount of work I'm putting in. Is anybody going to watch it? And my answer is, and it comes back to my head oftentimes, is it's really not worth those hours you're putting in. I don't think anybody's going to watch it. And then you have to say, well, then why do it? Is it confidence? Maybe. I just kind of look at it and go, this really isn't that entertaining. There's not much here, you know? And then it just means that I am not that entertaining. I'm not providing. See, my thing is for a content creator to be successful, you have to provide education or entertainment, right? It's education or entertainment. A friendly face, someone to talk to, can grow a channel slowly, but it probably will never mean anything. Simply being social is not going to get you anywhere. That's my observation. And that's me. I'm just social. I just like to socialize, talk, but you know, my channel kind of stumbles along because that's just I don't provide education. In other words, I'm not teaching anybody anything. I mean, I do what I can. I tell them what I know, but it's not like anybody's going to watch me and go, "Ooh, that's a cool feature, or a cool skill, or a cool this, that, or the other thing." I'm just learning a bunch from this guy, and yeah, what's there to? It's just not enough to watch, you know. Nobody's going to sit and get 20 minutes out of my stream. Nobody wants to watch me paint orcs for 20 minutes or more than 20 minutes. And if they do, it's just because they just happen to leave it on. Nobody's watching this. And I get that. I wouldn't do it either. I mean, when I watch other painters paint, first of all, I tend to watch the ones that are better painters, you know. To be honest, most painters are very boring, even the better painters. Well, not all of them. Okay, the good ones are not. But some of them don't even live stream. I don't think I've ever seen a ninja on live stream. And I'm sure he's done one. But I don't think it's a normal thing for him. I think he just does videos. I know for a fact that Miniac does live streams. I don't know. He probably even schedules and does them regularly. I think that's when he paints, but I don't know how much he does. I mean, I don't know if he does like all of his stuff live. I don't think so. He just does some stuff live. But he's a great painter, man. The stuff he paints is just awesome. All said and done, his work is worth watching because he's just like, dude, just like when I watched, well, it was a video of Ninjons, but he did NMM in like 2 seconds. Yes, it's a video, so he probably sped it up. But just, I mean, he didn't do a lot. Okay, it wasn't like he was, from what I could tell, I didn't see lots of layers going on or anything significant. He just, 1 second it wasn't NMM, and the next second it was. I was like, oh, surprise, surprise. So some people are just that, you know, good painters, and they're the kind of people others like to watch because it's just whatever, you know, you're just amazed. It's amazing. Oh, this guy's got a lot of plate too. That's kind of like the same one I just painted. But I don't have any more time. I am up. I have to hit the hay so that I can get up, do my workout in the morning, maybe a run, and then I will hit the. Then I probably go to church and come back, try to get some chores done. The weather's been nice today. Maybe tomorrow will be a good day to mow the lawn if it stays dry enough and warm enough all day. I could go do it like 11, 12 o'clock tomorrow, maybe 1 o'clock. You have to. It's still kind of cool these days. I mean, it's supposed to be in the 60s, so it could dry up. But if you do it too early in the morning, you're going to have the issue of. So I actually did this for a long time earlier. So I'm actually going to say 40, but then I also spent 2 hours. So it's probably like 2 hours and 40 minutes for these guys. And it's not the only thing I've done. So I've worked on 6 guys. I'm working on 6 guys right now. So it's almost like I should just complete these guys all as one band instead of saying that they're 2 squads, because I have actually been working on them all at once, and they're to some extent. And a lot of these other dudes aren't, you know, they're hobgoblins. Guys I've just been priming when I do priming, so they're getting ready to be painted. Is it weird? So I'm just trying to separate them out, pose them a little bit, get a shot of the two different squads. We'll see how they look differently. Maybe I should do something different with them each. Have hues and variations just go so that I can, say they're different. Problem is, if you keep guys too far away, it won't focus. I mean, I don't know. There might be a way to make it focus on all of them, but somehow it's not currently focusing. Because look, only the front guy gets to be clear. I think that's a setting. You can try to change the aperture or some nonsense. That's portrait. Oh, portrait view. Oops, that's not portrait view. That's um, um, is it that one? Nope. There's like, where's the expert mode or whatever the heck it takes, so I can change some of this. Pro? Maybe it's pro. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Focus. That's weird. That's kind of interesting though. You can focus directly. Oh, multi. What is? Oh, wow. I don't know, man. What about ISO? I don't remember. Is ISO the one you want, or is it? There's a way. I don't know. That just lets more light in. I don't know, man. If there's a way to focus on these. All right, well, it's not that easy to focus on three guys. And I thought multi would do it, but multi-point doesn't do anything. See, it just blurs the front guy. Everybody's blurry now. Tell you, photography, even with a camera, or with a phone camera, is it's a skill all its own, man. I guess I'll have to do. The only other way is probably do something like a top down, because everybody or line everybody up exactly the same distance, but that's not necessarily better. Or keep them fairly close to each other. So my lights are dying. All right, that's enough. Let's go ahead and put those in. It's not like it's you know championship photo taking time. This is squad 2, which is the brown guys, the first ones I took. Which is probably like that guy. We'll add him. And then we're going to go over to squad 1. Because I don't think I have any pictures of them yet. And we'll throw on, I don't know, that one. We'll see how they turn out in the end. This is my other little thing going on. I got a bunch of chess games going. Yeah, I play a lot of chess. Lately, I've actually been playing real chess, not just bullet chess. So, I, 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 you say that like, oh, do you play bullet chess? It's like, yes, as a matter of fact, I play too much bullet chess. Oh, you know what? That was probably dumb. See, I'm not paying attention. Oops. Oh well. This is what happens when I'm tired and I need to go to bed. Giving these weaker players an opportunity to beat me up is probably not a good idea. Future Troy. Who they? Oh, an 800 player bot wants to play me. I don't think that's how that works. Um. Uh, I got a lot of stuff going on here. Look at that. You have unread messages from one person. I do? All right. You don't want to watch me coast through my Instagram. Anyway, you have a good one until next time. Goodbye.